Free audio post-production by Alphonic.com.
Summer's coming in hot, and so are we. In this episode of Prisoners of Rock and Roll, we're checking out one of the coolest, most American sounds in rock history, surf music. It's a sound designed to imitate the ocean. Dripping wet reverb, a clean glowing tone, and that lightning-fast machine gun guitar picking that you instantly recognize. It exploded right in the gap between the first wave of rock and roll and the British invasion, when the music charts had gotten really soft. But while surf rock was short-lived, it was not just a blip. This scene drove major advances in guitar amps, influenced guitar gods from Jimi Hendrix to Eddie Van Halen, and even helped blaze a path towards speed metal. And of course, it gave the world the Beach Boys. This was counterculture. It was pure American teenage freedom in musical form. Surfboards, cars, girls, waves, and rebellion. In this episode, we're riding the wave and talking about artists like Dick Dale, the Safaris, and the Ventures. We're going to touch on how the Pulp Fiction soundtrack helped surf rock get back up on the board, as well as some modern bands that are still hanging 10 with the sound. Let's hit it. Greetings, citizens. Welcome to Prisoners of Rock and Roll, episode number 120. My name is Bruce Kramer. I'll be your tour guide on this magical mystery tour through the amazing world of surf music. And with me on this journey is the man I am so proud to introduce you now, coming to you live deep from the heart of South Philadelphia. This episode is about surf music, and he is riding a wave of rock and roll, the king of Cowabunga himself, Mr. Ryan McCusker.
Are you rocking, baby? Surf's up, baby!
I love it. Prisoners of Rock and Roll is part of the Pantheon Podcast Network, and we are proudly sponsored by Boldfoot Socks and McCusker's Tavern in Philadelphia. What is going on, my brother?
I just got out of bed to hear that introduction. I take all the compliments I can get these days.
Yeah, man. I spend so much fucking time writing those all the time. It's great.
I just got one to say. ROCK in the USA.
It is. We are recording this on Memorial Day, and of course, we're both big proponents and supporters of the military, and
yes, sir.
Hats off to everybody who gave all. I was supposed to march in a Memorial Day parade today with my Civil War reenacting unit, but the weather here in New Jersey had other plans. But
at a young age, I learned mostly about how the war hurts the people at home is because I went to school with a lot of naval-based kids in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And their parents went away for the Gulf War when I was whatever grammar school, whatever it was, and I always knew then, like the teacher said, you could be against the war, but you got to be for the troops because they're your friends' parents. And so I always had a strong feeling for the troops. I wish there was more I could do,
Sure, man. Every time I read about stuff, I'm a big history nerd. I realize how much more fortitude that a lot of those guys had than I will ever will.
Everybody that loves history, American history, has seen the Band of Brothers on HBO. Two of those dudes are from South Philadelphia.
Yes.
And Bill, one-legged Bill, that's what we called him growing up.
Wild Bill Heffron.
I had no idea that he was a World War II hero. He was just like that, you just saw him at T-ball games, like hanging out with the older folks and stuff like that, part of the community. I had no idea. And then Babe Heffron from 2nd Street, he's a major influence down there. So South Philly has big respect for these two guys. And God bless Tom Hanks really gave them a huge,
Telling that story, sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They were like superstars overnight.
It's a very special day here in America, and we're going to talk something about some music genre that is very American. I've been so excited to do this. I was texting you the other day. I'm like, dude, I am locked and loaded. I'm ready to go on this one. I am in professor mode.
It hit me. I was like, it's summertime. I'm like, Bruce loves surf rock. I'm like, yo, I got an idea, dude.
You threw this out there, and I was like, yeah, man. And then I was like, we're doing the research, and you were like, you said there was a documentary on YouTube, and I went on looking on Spotify, and I was like, there was almost like no podcast that talked about the history of surf rock. I'm like, dude, we're gonna fill a void, and we're gonna do it, and hopefully we're gonna do it some justice.
Hey, you're the professor. I'm your pet Sherman.
Nah, you're the judge, man. You judge.
That's the last thing I wanted to do. Yeah.
Nah, you're the judge of all this stuff, man. You tell me if this stuff is cool or not. I just tell the stories, and you're like, this rocks or this sucks.
My sister was like, you were really bad in high school when you talk shit about music. I'm like, I worked at a record store. What do you want?
Right. This music, though, man, the more you dive into it, you're like, how important this is. And it is kind of like a joke. Well, not a joke, but, it was only around for a couple of years. And it really is important in the whole, the grand scheme of shit.
Oh, my God. Just look at the influence it did. I bet we go somewhere in Asia and there's like a surf band playing. Or when it was going on in the 50s, we would go to the Midwest and there'd be a surf band together.
You're right, because there was a lot of there's a lot of bands still doing it, and it was a lot of overseas stuff that I was finding. So
it was like when it was happening, right? Like say,
right, yeah,
right when it was happening, it influenced guys from the Midwest that are even close to an ocean to be in a surf rock band.
Sure, and I've got some notes on some. Right, there's some bands are like Indiana and Colorado, and like nowhere near the ocean. It was a big deal. Before we dive in, let's be really broad here and say that there's two general categories of surf music. There's like instrumental stuff, and we're going to dive into that. And then there's music with vocals, and that's the Beach Boys and Jan and Dean, and we can touch on that too.
Right.
But before we go any further, what makes surf music? And it's like that, it's called the wet sound. And I think the first time I ever heard that term, like you described it.
The one thing I always... God, we grew up on TV, right? So we watched soda commercials, Sunkissed, and the orange soda would be a wave. And to make music to that wave, they go, so it was like, as me being a music nerd, even as little, I was like, wow, this is rocking. I always knew it, even before it was in the Tarantino film. Tarantino brought that into a culture. So,
Yeah, man. And I got some notes on the Pulp Fiction soundtrack later because it really brought all this music back. And even researching the stuff, you're like, those songs kept surfacing again. Like, oh, check this out. And I'm like, oh, that was on this Pulp Fiction soundtrack. The wet sound, a big part of it is reverb. And that is like it's like spacious, like the time in between notes, it's drippy, and it really sounds like waves crashing.
Yeah.
I have a song I want to play that's like, to me, was like, it was the wettest sound I could ever find. It's a song called It's a song called Baja by the Astronauts. That was a surf band from Colorado in the 1960s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
This song sounds like you need to put a towel on the floor because you're going to slip and fall, because the guitar almost sounds like you're underwater. Check this out.
Wow.
Really, really, there's a shit ton of reverb on that. That couple like dun 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 dun.
It's beautiful, man. Like just listening on the headset and
Cool.
clicking through the waves, man.
Yeah, man. So it's like, it's not even just a reverb. It was like that, the tremolo picking the real fast up and down over one note. There's a ton of whammy bar in this stuff. The tone is really clean. There's no distortion. The backbeat in surf music is really, really strong. The riffs are really simple, so you're supposed to be able to like dance to it. And there's some Middle Eastern influences in the music, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, man. I'm ready to talk. I'm following the class, pal.
Let me take a step back. So you get that sound. Now you know what it sounds like. You know, and surf music is totally one of those, like, I can't describe it, but I know it when I hear it. But surf music became really a thing in like the late 50s and the early 60s. But music is never created in a vacuum. Everything is friggin' connected. And everything we talk about in every episode is like, you know, connected. So let's talk a little bit about what was going on before surf music. Link Wray, the song Rumble, 1958. It's not surf music, but what he does with the guitar, he really gives us a glimpse into what was coming. And you can totally connect the dots because like Link Wray is cool because there's no reverb, but he was like punching holes in his speaker with a pencil to make this a really fuzzy sound.
You know, we say that Ike Turner was the first one to do that, like puncture.
Yeah.
But who knows how long it was going on? We
Yeah,
just know
well,
about that one.
Right. Well, they were like the first, right? And Rocket 88. And then it was like the Kinks did it and the Stones did it and Link Wray did it. So here's a little bit of Rumble. And it's like, yeah, it sounds like a surf song, but it's a couple years before surf music is a thing.
You know, Link Wray is part Native American and, or all Native American, I must say, because what do I know? But that beat in the background, man, that's there, man. That's like a Native American hop. And it's just fucking badass. Like, it's ready for battle, man. Like, no wonder they fucking censored that shit off the radio.
Yeah, dude. I put in my notes, that song was the dangerous older brother to surf music. And it's like,
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's like it's the older brother wearing the leather jacket and the hair slicked back, like the
People I idol. I'm bringing it back. I don't have hair anymore, but I'm going to bring it back.
And that song is like, that song's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because it's so important, which it becomes
very important. It's fucking maybe is it the first being aggressive?
I think so, man, because it is like that is in the gap between rockabilly music and like surf music too. It was a couple years before surf.
And like the drum is real low and the guitar is way up and raunchy.
Yeah.
Come on, how do you not want to rumble to that shit?
Yeah. It does sound dangerous. And you hear about now how that song was like band and guitar and you're like, okay, it's a instrumental, but like, yeah, dude, you can hear some danger in that.
How many times you see it in a movie in the background when there's something going on?
So, all right, so you're kind of setting the stage here. And then here's a little bit of like Duane Eddy. Duane Eddy was also kind of pre-surf, 1958. The song was a hit, Rebel Rouser, and went to number 6 on the charts. But it's got a shit ton of echo on it. This song just swings. Check this out.
Oh man, that backbeat is slamming.
Yeah, that is like,
I would love to be a part of that, man. Be backbone of that shit going on.
That's some rockabilly, some twangy shit, but it's got a surf sound to it. And play one more, like in this gap. The Ventures, Walk Don't Run. I totally thought this was a surf song.
I listened to it like a few hours ago. It's not a surf song.
So this came out a year before Dick Dale did. So
controversy.
It's like, it's not really surf music, but it friggin' sounds like surf music.
We will be the judge of that.
All right, you tell me, sir.
definitely. I mean, whoever wants to point the finger over here, over there, over the here, just like the blues guys, you know, it
Right.
just
Right.
they may have had the idea and they're like, okay, that gimmick is over, and then someone picked it up, you know.
Yeah, you're gonna draw an arbitrary line and say this is when surf music started, but that's a surf song.
God bless it, it's a surf song.
Yeah. I did have one other dude I want to talk about, and I want to play something from. There's a guy named Sandy Nelson, and this is a song called Teen Beat. This came out in 1959. This song was a hit. It went to number 4. This guy was a rock and a jazz drummer, and he went to high school with Jan and Dean, which is we'll talk about later. But I thought it was cool because this is kind of like the same genre of like pre-surf music, but it's drums first, and it's not guitar driven. This was kind of cool. This is Teen Beat.
Wow, that's swinging, dude.
Isn't it? It's really cool. I'd never heard of that dude before.
Ever? No.
He has some really cool shit too. I went down the rabbit hole a little bit listening to him, but it was like, man, if you put the reverb guitar on top of that, that would be that's a surf backbeat.
I'm like we're gonna sooner or later get to more interesting artists like that, but I'm thinking about the guitars that these kind of guys are using. Like,
Yeah.
It sounds like Fenders. Not. I'm sure I'm gonna ask when we get to Dick Dale what his guitar was, but get prepared for that shit. So
Well, that's great because I was gonna say, like, if you take all that stuff we just talked about and you put it together, and then it leads you to this. Dick Dale, Let's Go Trippin', 1961. That is largely regarded as the very first surf rock song. That song came out 2 months before anything from the Beach Boys
wow.
and kind of kicked off the movement. That was the first song that was called surf rock.
I bet those guys from Motown would call him a motherfucker.
They
Like,
would.
You know, he is. Wow.
Well, you know what? You mentioned Motown, and all the notes I was reading, they said, like, at some point, man, in the early 60s, like, this shit was as popular as Motown. It was like, Motown is kind of stood the test of time, but
Things invade culture, and I was watching documentary and the movie Gidget really popped out the fucking, like how Nirvana popped out. Everybody wanted to be grunge while everybody wanted to do surf after the movie Gidget. And then like Sally Field had the TV show later on.
Yeah, dude, that's a great point. Like, well, that's like, we've talked about this so many times in the show too, where like something breaks and then all these other artists and all these other things kind of rush through the gap in the wall, like grunge. Like there's all these like knockoff grunge bands, surf music too. All these knockoff or soul music and shit like that. And yeah, Gidget was a big deal.
Who's God? Who's Gidget?
Gidget to Midget.
I know. Sandra D. Yeah. God.
Yeah.
Sandra D was adorable.
So Dick Dale, music historians would say he's one of the founders of surf guitar, and Dick Dale would say he was the founder of surf guitar. He said he even came up with the name surf music, and this is a musical hill I will die on. He is an important figure in music. He deserves to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I hope he does.
Link Ray got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame like 2-3 years ago because of Rumble. It was like, Dick Dale deserves to be in there. I mean,
I agree with you. I talk about on the show. I don't think he plays politics right.
Yeah. And he, he popularized, well, I have all these notes on the gear and all the advancements he has. But before
you
get
ain't got to
that,
sell it to me, man. Sell it to our listeners. Don't sell it to me. Sell
so
it to our listeners.
before I do that, I mentioned that surf music has some Middle Eastern influences on it. So check this out. This is a Greek folk song, Miserlou. Here's the traditional arrangement of that song. Sounds like something Omar would listen to.
No, but you hear it's just like one single note after the other.
Right.
But it's just like the basis of what surf music is based on. It's one note, single note after the other in a lead.
Right. So, and Dick Dale was part Lebanese, so he was around this music, and then he took that and he turned it into this.
Wow. It's like that. It's like a wave coming in.
So I saw Dick Dale 3 times in concert, and he was playing the Asbury Park Surf Festival. The tickets were like $20. He was playing the Wonder Bar, which is like a dive bar. And we were like, sure, we had seen Pulp Fiction. We knew that song from Pulp Fiction. Let's just go. And he had to be helped up on stage, and he had to have a chair put down. And he was like, he was very frail, and he was like very open that he was playing because he was trying to raise money to pay his medical bills. And he picked up the guitar, and the loudest fucking sound I have ever heard come out of a human being. He played that song, and I was like, I don't know how his hands are going that fast for this old 83-year-old man. It was a show. We saw it, and my wife and I walked out. I remember we were standing outside the Wonder Bar, and we're like, what the fuck did we just see? It blew our mind. And I've seen Brian May and Carlos Santana and Tom Morello. I was like, he was as good as anybody I've ever seen.
He's a master.
It's amazing.
He's a master of his craft.
It was amazing. Like this old man, and then this enormous friggin' sound, and his hands were that fast. And it was almost like when he put the guitar down, it was almost like it was in that one Star Wars movie where Yoda picks up the lightsaber and he flips all over the place, and then he puts it down and he picks up the cane again. It was like that. Yeah. It was amazing. But
the best story about that is the Bruce, I'm sitting at home. Bruce takes a picture of this weirdo. He's like he was this roadie. He's like, look at this weird fucking dude that's Dick Dale's
sitting
roadie
behind Dick Dale. And
he takes a picture of him, and it's the kid I grew around the corner with in Haddon Heights. His name is Waldo.
Yeah, you're like, I know that guy.
Tell him, scream out his name.
I went, and we went to the Asbury Park Surf Festival every year until he passed away. And the one year I took the warden, and the warden passed out in the middle of the Wonder Bar from heat exhaustion.
God.
No.
You should have just got him a kiddie pool and put it in the middle.
Right. So, and I read something with Dick Dale, and he said he was really, really into big band music, and he loved Gene Krupa.
Right on.
And he said he wanted to make his guitar sound like Gene Krupa's drums. So here's Drum Boogie from Gene Krupa. I thought this was cool.
God, I wish I could play like that, dude.
I was like, shit, man, you want to make a guitar sound like that fast?
Fast. I think that's all he had in his mind was fast.
And that's like, whatever. Gene Krupa was like, that's the 40s, right? Like,
yeah. But, everything's upbeat so that just another musician follows an old pattern and uses it,
But just saying, I want to take that and make my guitar sound like that. It was like, nobody was doing that.
No. Yeah, it's amazing.
Talking about like a little bit about like his gear. So like reverb in guitar wasn't really like a big thing at the time. And he decided he wanted to sound like Elvis, right? Because Elvis had that little bit of echo. And we talked about that before. Like when RCA bought the contract, they wanted that little bit of an echo sound.
Yeah. Joke was on them.
So he went to Leo Fender and had Leo Fender build a reverb unit. And like reverb wasn't really a thing on guitars at the time. Like I went down a rabbit hole. Like where did reverb come from? So like the Hammond Organ Company came up with reverb in the 30s because they wanted to make their organs sound like big pipe organs. Right? Because a Hammond organ is much smaller. It's not this big cathedral. So they took that. Leo Fender made like a box, it was called a reverb tank you could like plug into, and Dick Dale was plugging into it to make his voice have reverb. And at some point he was like, effing, I'm going to plug my guitar into it and see what happens. And that's where the reverb sound, the wet sound came from. He was just effing around, which is so cool.
Right moment, right time, galaxy opens up and bam.
Right. Just the mad scientist just trying something different. Like, oh, let me plug this in and see what happens. It's just like, pow.
Like, what did he start? Holy shit. Like the idea, and then someone picked it up from that and went further,
I like, when I saw him, he was doing the whole, like, holding the guitar and, like, pressing it up against the amp, like, to generate the interference and everything. And then he was like, oh, I taught the guys from Led Zeppelin this.
I'm sure he did. They stole everything else.
Right.
Zeppelin stole everything else.
And he was like, he had his, Waldo was holding the guitar and he was playing the guitar with drumsticks and shit. He was just like, it was amazing. But
my man's from Chicago, right?
Dick Dale?
Yeah.
Boston. He was from Massachusetts.
That explains a lot. Not far, way too far from an ocean.
Yeah. But then his guitar, so you were mentioning like the gear he was using. He had a gold Stratocaster that he called the Beast. And it sure was. For first of all, he was left-handed, and he played a right-handed guitar, but he played it upside down.
Jimmy.
But he didn't restring it like Jimi Hendrix. He just the strings were backwards, so the heaviest string was at the bottom near the floor.
That's always I heard Paul McCartney played his left hand
upside down.
Yeah, still like he didn't change the strings. He just learned that way.
And he played like stupidly heavy strings to create a lot of tension, and he used a really, really heavy guitar pick. And according to the Fender website, he used to use like normal guitar strings, and he would literally melt through them because he was playing so fast.
Beautiful.
So he had to get heavier and heavier and heavier. And then his amps, so like, he was Leo Fender once said, if an amp can withstand the barrage of punishment from Dick Dale, it is fit for human consumption. So when Dick Dale started playing, the amps were all like 10 watts and they couldn't hang with his sound. And he would be playing and he would just be like, he would blow them out all the time. And Leo Fender went and saw him play, and it was like, hey man, I'm going to start working with you to make an amp that will go over the crowd. Because Dick Dale was also trying to like drown out the audience that he was drawing. Because I have something on that in a second. And that's where they came up with the Fender Showman amp that was like 100 watts. And that's kind of like the standard issue now. But they made that for Dick Dale.
Yeah, it's like two speakers.
Yeah, and then they made
Yeah,
the dual showman amp is
Yeah.
also for Dick Dale, but it was
We
like
did see
because
the
of
same
him.
documentary.
Yeah, yeah. So because of him, it was the whole friggin' thing. Like all this like modern technology was because of Dick Dale was trying to like keep up with the crowd and play louder and louder and louder, and he was blowing out all of his equipment.
He was a rocker, man.
Super cool,
What the hell's that museum thinking?
right? So the audience that Dick Dale was playing to. So he was playing to like ice cream parlors, and then Balboa, California had this place that was just called the Rendezvous Ballroom. That was like where like big bands and shit played in the 30s. It had a huge dance floor that could hold like 3,000 people. And as Dick Dale got bigger, they let him start playing there on the weekends. And they said like 3,000 people would show up every weekend to watch him. And they said like the actual like the floor would like move up and down because he was playing so fast, and they would start dancing.
I believe it. I've seen it. I've been in places they say stop jumping.
Right, and you can feel it on the floor.
Yeah.
And so the people started doing a dance called the Surfer Stomp, and it was really simple. Like you step to one side, you stomp your foot, you slide your other foot, you stomp your foot, and there you
They
go.
were fucking moshing.
Right. It's moshing before moshing. And they said with that ballroom that it was so big that it was holding 3,000 people, and they said the whole friggin' place shook.
Oh, sound like a bowling alley, probably.
And well, there's a band called the Marquettes that released a song called the Surfer Stomp based on this friggin' song. So here's a little bit of that.
Man, that must have been. You hear it when they were doing the stomp at.
Oh, right. You can hear, right.
Oh, holy shit. The whole place. I could just think of like, God, the school auditorium where I went to, or gymnasium, just bah, bah. Holy shit.
The foundation's shaking with that.
That's rock and roll, baby.
Yeah, that backbeat was, you could totally hear it, like them stomping their feet to it.
Totally.
Really cool. And it's kind of cool that they were like, okay, there's a dance, and we're going to make a song to it. And that song was just, sounds like it was made for that kind of dance.
Just think people wanted to get, I don't know, fast and aggressive, you know?
Well, yeah, dude. And because this music, like, it's so
Not
prevalent.
aggressive, but like hyper.
No, but
I
you're
don't like-
right. No, you're dead on, dude. Because like, you think about what's going on in music at the time, right? Like, Buddy Holly's gone. That whole first wave. Elvis is in the army. Chuck Berry's in jail. Little Richard found the Lord. Like all that shit's gone, and you got like Paul Anka and all this soft stuff. And this is counterculture. This is like, it's almost like punk rock. It's like anti-establishment.
One of my favorite movies is American Graffiti. Yeah, you've seen it,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah, sure.
Well, Mackenzie Phillips is in the car with the dude, and they're driving, and he's sitting there, and he's like, "Oh, turn the surf shit off." I was like, "Oh, don't you like the Beach Boys? They're so boss." He's like, "Yeah, that's surfer music. Rock and roll's been dead since Buddy Holly died."
Yeah. Well,
So-
it's like, and a lot of the surf guys didn't like the Beach Boys and the shit that put the
No, they were
vocals on.
poser. They were like the NSYNCs,
Right.
you know, coming
Said
in.
the-
They were like the I don't know, like Jan and Dean was first, right? And then the
Right.
Beach Boys came through.
Yeah. Yeah, but those guys, like, they didn't like that stuff. They were like, it's, I think I saw Dick Dale was like, it's candy ass music or something, or candy coated.
Yeah, but I think more of a band effort was coming in, like songs. People didn't want to do instrumentals. People like to sing along. I don't know.
You're not going to get me to dissuade the influence or the importance of the Beach Boys
No,
in American
they-
music, but
and they just didn't do surf music. They changed music.
yeah, absolutely. But this stuff, man, it is like, I don't know, man, like rock and roll is about being dangerous and counterculture and That first wave scared the shit out of everybody. Didn't sound like anything else. And then you got a little bit of a lull where like, you know, music gets real like poppy and soft and stuff. And then this comes out and it is like, you always think of like the hippies being counterculture, but this shit was counterculture too. Like the surfing was not like a mainstream thing in the 50s
like
and 60s.
Only locals, dude.
Yeah.
You know, it was like all the posers go get your own waves.
Right.
You know?
You live at the beach, you're a bum, like beach bum.
And then
you're
it
a
became
bum.
this thing. And then, you know, how do you say you're like the real thing and all these posers are out there almost dying, trying to figure out how to surf, like almost drowning, you know, and they're fucking up their fun.
All right. Now you'd have to have you need $1 million condo at Jersey Shore to be able to afford to do that every weekend.
Wow.
All right, so I got a couple other like odds and ends, man, like some surf music out of this, and it was just great because I found some stuff that I'd never heard before, which is really cool. So one of the first true surf instrumentals, even before Dick Dale, was a band called the Bel Airs and a song called Mr. Moto, and these guys were in high school, and this is super cool because it's like a really really clean twangy guitar with some reverb. Check this out. Great.
Oh,
they're high school kids doing that. It's awesome.
But I could see those guys being really good musicians and then looking down on like the Beach Boys. You know,
I get it. I do get it.
The Beach Boys is like for the girls, man. Like for the love and the girls on the beach inside. This shit's for inside the ocean, for the skaters, basically.
I get it, man, because like, you know, shit, we've talked at length about how important the Beach Boys are, and I think you had them as your number one American rock and roll band of all time. I know you had the Ramones as number one. I think you had the Beach Boys number two. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like undeniably, right? And you can put Pet Sounds on. We've said for 3 years we want to do like Pet Sounds versus like Rubber Soul or some shit like that, right? Put it on par with
Sergeant Pepper.
Sergeant Pepper. You put it on par with anything. But it's interesting, like when you look at the Beach Boys in the context of what we're talking about, that those guys were like, these artists were looking down on the Beach Boys, that they were like candy asses.
Not the Beatles.
Right. And not music history. Music history has been like the Beach Boys are one of the greatest bands of all time. And a lot of these guys, you know, shit, like who the hell knows the Bel Airs?
No, I mean, God, even like later in the years, like in the 80s, the Beach Boys played Washington, D.C. on 4th of July. And like 400,000 people fucking showed up.
Yeah, the Beach Boys got pretty fucking soft at the end of there. I know we have different opinions on like Kokomo, but that is...
I like the fun of Kokomo.
That is one of the shittiest, softest songs.
I like the fun of it. I like the fun of it. Yeah.
So back to the Bel Airs. So they were high school kids, and at some point a couple of years, that song came out in 1962. Very quickly after that, they had some creative differences. They were largely fighting over like using reverb on all their music. The band split up. A couple dudes went on to form a band called the Challengers. And the Challengers came out with a song called K39, which apparently was some spot in California where you could go surfing. The debut album from the Challengers, called Surf Beat, is the best-selling surf album of all time. I had never friggin' heard of these guys ever.
Yeah. I don't recall.
So here's K39.
beautiful.
The
Rockin'.
drums on that kick ass.
I can't do that, man. My mind don't think that way.
That fast or
Well, maybe I'm sure if I sat down and tried, but no, like fuck.
what do you mean? What do you mean?
Something in that style, Gene Krupa style. Something so like jazz or so bam. And I'm more of a rock and roll kind of drummer.
Okay.
If it makes any sense. I could
doesn't,
do it, but not
it doesn't
that well.
because I'm not a musician. So like you mean the speed or just like the technique?
The technique, yeah.
Okay.
The technique.
Okay.
I can like fake it, but those motherfuckers are unreal.
Yeah, right on, dude.
Like
Okay.
I can get up there and do Wipeout and shit, blah, 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 blah. But to go and do like that, man.
Yeah, man. It's like, and those guys are, okay, they had the best-selling surf album of all time. Cool. They're largely, I have no idea who they are, right? Like we're professional music commentators and we
Take
have
that, my sister. I wish she was listening. Take that.
I'm the professor and I say that Ryan is the smartest man I know when it comes to music.
I'm gonna tell her we're talking like this.
And I'm going to cut that out and I'll just send it to you. And, but I've never heard of those dudes. And it was like, yeah, dude, that was really cool. I'll listen to some more.
I always thought surf rock was cool growing up.
I did too, but it was like, you had like the, what the hell was that movie? Back to the Beach.
Yeah, Dick Dale's in that movie.
Yeah, he is. It's
with,
like
with Stevie Ray Vaughan.
They're
playing together on stage.
He was nominated for a Grammy for that.
Fuck.
The Cowabunga from Down Under. And
we got a core fan from Australia.
Oh, I have some more from him later. So
right on.
He gave us a song for the electric chair, so we're good. What did you just say? Oh, you said Wipeout, so you could play Wipeout. And I was like, let's talk about Wipeout.
Everybody, Wipeout, fucking right. But like, there's so much more that we just heard than what they do basic and Wipeout.
Yeah, well, because even when we were setting up, and we talk about like, what do we want to play? Oh, coming out of the theme for the show, and I was like, let's play Wipeout. And you're like, everybody knows Wipeout. So it's like, yeah, dude, you're right, but you're right.
God, I haven't thought about this in years, but do you remember the episode of Cheers? And they're like, all the guys are like, yeah, you're not every man knows how to play Wipeout. And like go down like Norm starts doing it. And then like the other guy starts doing it. And then Woody like fucks it all up.
I was thinking that Howard Stern played it on Arsenio Hall. And I think he was like Robin did the Wipeout. And then like they were making making a joke of how terrible they were. But I mean, shit, everybody knows that beginning, the drum solo in that sound.
Let's hear it.
Wipeout.
God, I remember I had to be 11 or 12 and I had drumsticks growing up, just being a kid with drumsticks. And I remember sitting on my bed and playing on my brother's bed and fucking playing Wipeout like that before I even had a drum set. And my sister comes walking behind me. She's like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, right. I learned that shit before I even had a drum set.
It's like every moron that like ever drums, not you, like you're a musician, but like every moron like me that like drums on his desk.
Fucking right. That's like that was the joke on that TV show. Yeah, I was trying to get through. Like
if you've turned a bucket upside down and banged on it, if you've been at a bar and there's a band playing, like you're trying to rock out to that.
Yeah, dude. Like I wouldn't try to impress anybody by playing Wipeout.
As a joke, I go on Safaris on Spotify and I pull up because I was like, well, what is their next best song? Here's their 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's their top 5 songs on Spotify by song listens. You ready? Wipeout, 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 and Wipeout.
Holy fuck.
And then they have, I don't know, they're different versions. And then there's Tequila. Did they do?
Yeah, baby.
This isn't them.
Pee Wee Herman, baby. It's them, dude.
No,
them.
they didn't do the original
you
of that.
Fucking look that shit up right now. 'Cause that's an important part of Pee Wee history.
We're pulling over right now. We're settling this Pee Wee Herman. They didn't write the original of that, did they? Who is?
They did.
How do I not have this in my notes? You call me the professor?
You're gonna go, motherfucker.
The Champs.
Oh, okay. Everybody covered everything back then.
Hang on. Oh, we're gonna go to the Champs. Oh, yeah, here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I was like, motherfucker. Right. I need that clip from Pulp Fiction. Motherfucker. I learned something today. Oh.
I mean, if Elvis could do blue suede shoes, you know.
We'll do the music of Pee Wee Herman in another episode.
Oh. I don't want to go into Pee Wee Herman. I just watched all this stuff. It's pretty fucking funny. Anyway.
Before we get into the commercial break, man, I want to play one more song, and I think it's a great example of like how pervasive surf music was, and it's a song you're gonna know. The friggin' Monsters theme, man, is surf rock.
The funniest thing on that show is how their fucking niece was all pretty and shit. They say how ugly
she was hot.
And they're like, oh, this poor girl, she's so ugly, and we don't talk about it.
And the show was great, but it was also, I was like, oh my God, that's a surf song.
Totally. That guitar, hell yeah.
Yeah, surf rock.
But
and
it
I mean,
sounds like the Monsters theme song, though. You know, like that time, I don't know, there's a lot of bands that maybe bit off of the surf sound and just tone, you know.
Well, like we were playing the Ventures earlier. We talked about the Ventures. Played.
This is the question I had: is Hawaii 5-0 a fucking surfer song?
Yes, that's what I was getting to, because I was going to say that the Ventures that we played, that Walk Don't Run song, I was like, oh, they wrote the Hawaii 5-0 theme, so let's play a little bit of that.
Yeah. See, I'd rock the shit out of that. Oh, fuck yeah. See?
Oh, you could write a record. You could do a rock and cover of that.
Oh, God, yeah. I just can't do like the Gene Krupa shit.
Well, I also heard too, if like you put a little bit more reverb on the James Bond theme, like the Ventures actually covered the James Bond theme. Here, check this out.
Pussy.
If you loaded that, octopussy. But if you loaded that up with reverb, it's like, well, here's the original James Bond. He was like, anyway. But if you loaded that up with reverb and all that wet sound, yeah, dude, it would totally be a surf song.
Oh yeah, it came up in my head. About like little GTO. It's like a little surf riff kind of thing.
Little GTO, you really looking fine. 3 deuces 6 and a 4-speed and a 389. Listen to her tack it up now. Listen to her whine. Come on and turn it on, wind it up, blow it out, GTO. Yeah, little GTO. Yeah, little GTO.
Yeah, maybe.
No, dude, absolutely. It's a great song. Well, also, like, I think when the vocals, you brought up a great transition because, like, when the vocals come in, some of the music stops being about surfing and starts being about cars, and becomes like the hot rod music of the early '60s.
And the Beach Boys sang about a lot about cars too.
And they did surfing
about surf rock, yeah,
right. And then they did Little Deuce Coupe, and God, I mean, shit, that leads to
songs.
And that leads to like Springsteen and
fuck yeah.
Car culture is so American. Just man, I don't quite understand the people knocking the hardcore surf dudes that were knocking the guys who sang with vocals, because I'm like,
I get it. I totally get it. It being me, if I was one of those, I totally fucking get it. Oh, fucking right, fucking poser shit.
Yeah, I guess, but now that I'm like,
if I was like one of those dudes playing like Gene Krupa shit, knocking it dead, and listening to the Beach Boys, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but
what the fuck is going on, dude?
But we're fucking music historians, and you look back at it and you're like, yeah, dude, but the Beach Boys and Jan and Dean, it was so important.
This is coming from a guy that's the Beach Boys is their second favorite American band. This, it's, I could just see me being Brian Wilson was the only real musician in that band, but to be like a motherfucker, and then like the Beach Boys are happening with surf rock now.
Yeah, but like, I get it.
What do I know? They sold a shitload of albums, and we're talking about these guys that we forgot about right now on the show.
Right. Right, we can have the three guys from the Challengers on the show tomorrow if we want to. But yeah, dude, I just find that fascinating. These guys are. But I get it, like music, the story music is full of people calling other people posers.
Oh my God. How about like, you think like all those fucking beginning grunge heads, like watching 120 minutes and then Nirvana's the biggest thing in the fucking world. Like,
sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
no
saying.
doubt. Like the fucking guys who listen to Sonic Youth were like Nirvana's a bunch of assholes, or
exactly,
fucking Offspring or a bunch of pussies because they went mainstream. Yeah, I totally get it. I just as somebody who's a fan of music, and you look back at the whole story, you're like, oh my God, it's kind of a blip, and it led to some of these like enormously important artists.
Huge. And what did it rub off on?
Everything. And I've got some notes on that too, what they're going to lead off on. So why don't we take a break and we'll come back, and I got some stuff on like, why was this stuff so short-lived? I got some stuff on like, what was their influence, some bands, and then there are some people that are still making this music, and I have a couple of those too. And you can tell me if are they cool or do they stink?
Because what do I know?
You're the judge. That's why I do the show, man. I trust your opinion more than anybody in the world on music.
I am going to get my sister on the fucking phone.
Conference her in immediately.
I'm going to make her listen to this fucking episode. You have no idea.
All right, we're going to regroup and we'll be right back.
Smoke them if you got them.
Prisoners of Rock and Roll is sponsored by McCusker's Tavern at 17th and Shunk Streets in Philadelphia. There's something for everyone on the beer list and the jukebox at McCusker's. It's minutes from the sports stadiums in Philly, making it a great place to stop by for a few drinks before or after a concert or a game. Come see for yourself why everyone from Philadelphia Magazine to Playboy has called it one of the best dive bars in the city. Visit them at 17th and Shunk Streets in Philadelphia or on Facebook. That's McCusker's Tavern.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA, then everybody'd be surfing like California. You'd see them wearing their baggies, Warachi sandals too, a bushy blonde
right, we're back from the commercial break. Thanks so much for sticking with us. Just a reminder, Prisoner of Rock and Roll is part of the Pantheon Podcast Network, and our show is sponsored by Boldfoot Socks and McCusker's Tavern. That was a Beach Boys. I still can't wrap my head around. I understand what you were just saying around, like, people calling other bands posers. And I was like, that shit is peak American rock and roll.
As I said about Jerry Garcia in our last episode, that the Grateful Dead's nothing but American, and there is nothing more American than the Beach Boy music, bro. There's nothing more American than Beach Boy music.
That's, and I meant to put it in my notes, because when you said that, like the Dead were like a melting pot. That was like when I was talking about the Dick Dale stuff. I'm like, oh, look at this like Middle Eastern shit, and he assimilates it and he incorporates it into his music and Middle Eastern stuff. And I was like, that's such an American thing, man. Like just different cultures coming together.
Like I'm sitting here, and if I was in another country or whatever, they didn't speak English and they wouldn't know where America was or what America was all about, maybe I put that song on.
Nobody did harmonies better than the Beach Boys.
Not that they invented it, but
no,
in rock and roll, they just fucking said, hey, why don't we do this with like all the other singing acts do it and put it, but fuck, man, the Beach Boys mastered that, playing their instruments and doing it at the same time.
They did. And, like the Wrecking Crew playing behind a lot of this crap too.
Oh yeah.
I say crap, but the Wrecking Crew is
doing it live is one thing, right on, but doing it on a record is a whole other ball game. It's especially back then. I mean, Dennis Wilson, it wasn't the greatest fucking drummer ever, but he rocked out live and he made it fucking happen. But to put him on those records and like trust him enough to get through one time, I don't know what the fuck I don't know.
Well, like the instrumental stuff is important in the big story of music, but it is a very minor blip. And then, but the stuff with the vocals on it becomes core Americana story of rock and roll, like shit that winds up in the Forrest Gump soundtrack, which is like the primer for American music.
I'm telling you, they played this 4th of July in front of the Lincoln Memorial, Washington, in between all that. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
And this was in the 80s and when Reagan was out there, fuck.
I still think they got incredibly soft in their later years, but that's,
so did Michael McDonald.
Right. I saw fucking Starship playing in Albany, New York on the 4th of July in front of like the municipal hall or some shit like that. But
Grace Slick's like a elderly person now. Like,
yeah, she's not well.
She seems like how off like a lot of older folks I know.
Jefferson Airplane and Jefferson Starship are two completely different things.
You just ruined it for me.
Well,
you just told me there was no Santa Claus.
Jefferson Airplane is amazing. Starship gave us we built the city on rock and roll.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
All right, fuck out of here. We'll circle back to that another time. So what happened with this stuff, man? So the stuff was huge. It was everywhere. And then the friggin' Stones and the Beatles came over from America. The British invasion, just like this shit, just like it just wiped it all out.
Yeah, I mean, blues became really cool, and surf rock was kind of like way too what the Beatles were doing, or that kind of thing. Like even like
music kind of went back to the beginning a little bit with like blues, like the Stones and the Who, and
I think maybe that's what a more earth tone became. Like anybody could play it. Surf rock was really fucking hard,
and it all went away. But it's
like there was a lot of sloppiness to blues.
Yeah,
Does that makes any sense?
No, you're right, because the surf music has a very clean sound to it.
Yeah,
like the tone and the blues music is dirty and it's messy, and yeah, it was like, but the fact that it was short lived doesn't diminish the importance, because it was saying like it was a counterculture movement, and everyone, when you think counterculture and like rock and roll, you think about the hippies, you may think of the greasers. I was like, but this shit was just as counterculture. It just was in a very, very narrow window, and dude, this is as American as any genre of music ever.
You don't get more American than this, man.
Right.
These are like fucking teenage Americans made this music, or like the young of that era.
Sure. And I mean, like, surf culture is a thing. Like, you think of like, yo, dude, like surfers, like,
Well, like the
all that comes out of the
original
music.
But then what it became like later on.
Sure, but the music led to, like you said, Gidget coming into pop culture, and then it'd be like, Elvis, when he comes back out of the army, was making movies about like surfing and.
Well, look how they made that Endless Summer movie, dude.
Yes, right.
That was huge. I watched that on cable as a kid.
The whole like counterculture, like, you dude, smoke a joint, and like, my.
That's what I'm saying. It became a different thing. It became a dumb person thing. Hey, dude.
Yes.
It became a stupid guy thing.
Yes, I didn't think of that, but you're right. That's why we keep you on the show.
Because I recognize stupid when I see it. Because I am that.
Right, is why you said you want to do the podcast with me. You're like, I recognize stupid and keep you around. My stupidity and my my amazing beard. But the influence that this stuff had is like, it's undeniable around, I said, like reverb and the louder amps. And you can totally make the argument that Dick Dale led to like speed metal, and it gave us the Beach Boys. And it was like freedom or rebellion and cars and girls and the louder amps. And like, dude, like
all good things about America.
And how about the influence that it's had on like the Ramones? I mean, shit, the Ramones were like surf rock speed and like doo-wop music put together.
What did they cover? Come down out west where I belong. Play that fucking motherfucker. In the warm California sun. Holy shit. And his vocals on shit right here, dude. Perfect. He was so influenced by 50s rock and roll. It's ridiculous. America, baby.
They were your number one band, right, from America and of all time.
Dude, I'm a patriot, man.
But it's like, yeah, dude, like the Ramones grabbed old music and jerked it forward into like the punk rock era.
But they homage to what they knew.
Sure.
Like, yo, this is a rockin' song, and they're playing CBGBs, and all of a sudden they pull this shit out, and they're like, "What the fuck's going on?"
But all that, like they didn't know what they were doing with their instruments, and they liked eating cereal and watching cartoons and shit like that. But like, they're so freaking important, and maybe that's an American thing, like not knowing what you're doing and just being like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna celebrate what came before us and pull it forward."
What rock and roll's all about, is saying "fuck it" and let's do it.
And maybe you do know what you're doing, and maybe you're a technical wizard of, I don't know, man, like your Yes or the prog rock guys, that dirty rock and roll sound of the Ramones, and like that's my jam.
And you could go all the way over and be like Joe Satriani and those dudes,
right?
And how they take the cleanness from it, or even the guys from Metallica, like that speed. Or go overseas, they heard it over there. Fucking some of those Iron Maiden riffs. Totally, but I also surf rock.
Yeah, I get it. Sure. I mean, like, again, did Dick Dale put the speed in the guitar that influenced all those, like, speed metal band, the Swedish guys and all that shit? And then maybe before we go into some of the modern bands, talk a little bit about, like, the Pulp Fiction soundtrack, man, like, culturally was so important to bringing a lot of this music back. Because I don't know how many times, like, I've said to somebody, like, oh, I saw Dick Dale. They're like, who's Dick Dale? I'm like, well, the opening scene of Pulp Fiction? They're like, oh, shit. Like, yeah, he played that.
Yeah. You don't have to say much more than that.
Yeah. And a lot of the songs, just like, even putting together the playlist, it was like, researching top surf songs, stuff I didn't know, and I listened to it. I'm like, oh shit, it's on the Pulp Fiction soundtrack. Like,
I just watched Pulp Fiction and the opening scene. Man, that fucking comes through like a fucking bulldozer.
yeah,
Like, here's these two gangsters in a fucking car. We're ready to kill someone. And here's the, like,
we should have shotguns for this shit. But even
let's hang back for a minute. He says, anytime yet. Let's hang back.
But how many like shit? Let me find the like here. I could see John Travolta being
One
stoned
smack.
out of his mind. Yeah, driving into that.
Tarantino has such an amazing ear for cinema, dude.
Yeah, and we should do a show on him because he
You
picked
just
a
read
lot
my
of the-
mind.
He,
That's a-
well, I didn't read shit. You said that. You said that like 2 months ago. The song from like when Bring Out the Gimp, like that.
Because when in cinema did you ever see something like that before?
It's a song called Comanche. That guitar work is amazing, but I can never hear that song and not associate it with that scene in Pulp Fiction.
Dude, I want a Royale with cheese right now.
You want the Gimp? Bring out the Gimp.
No, I don't want the Gimp. I want a Royale with cheese.
The Gimp's sleeping.
Definitely.
Bring him out. Pulp Fiction soundtrack absolutely brought a lot of this music back, and again,
Into a different kind of culture.
yeah.
Like, have meaning for something else besides surf music.
And some of it good and some of it bad, like that song I can never hear and not think of that scene from Pulp Fiction. But how many records did that? I meant to put that in my notes.
Oh, God. I remember having, like, in the record store, like, at least 10 copies of it ready to be sold. It's when you would have, like, 3 of something else.
It went platinum. It sold about 2 million. I know. Worldwide, it sold 9 million copies. So, yeah, dude, it was enormous.
It was a part of culture, man. Holy shit.
And it was a lot of, like, kind of obscure music.
We got to do that show, man.
It'd be a great episode. Let's look at a little bit of, like, some modern shit that's around. So surf music is still, it's kind of a niche thing. But I found a couple bands that were still around, and there's going to be more on the playlist than we could talk about. But I found 2 maybe that I want to play. One was called The Mermen. And
Merman.
This is a
You
song
never saw
called
that movie? I don't know.
This is a song called Ocean Beach.
That's killer.
Yeah, it was decent. And I had another band. Well, also the bass player from White Zombie, Sean Yseult, like she went into she had a surf project, but none of their crap's on Spotify anymore.
I can see like how the rockabilly has a scene like with the punk rockers. I could see like the surf rock scene having a thing,
Sure.
like a following.
And I found a band called the Surfer Jets. They're an all-female band, and they wear like the beehive hairdos and the white go-go boots, and they put out a bunch of like covers, but they covered "Toxic" by Britney Spears as a surf song. It's I'll play
Hold on,
it.
please,
You tell me.
I don't know
Yeah.
the song by Britney, but please play it.
Yes, you do.
I just wonder, like, is there like these kids in Germany that loves this kind of music and plays it in a band somewhere? And like right now, that's what I think about. Like they don't know if it's cool or not. It's just a form of rock and roll to them. Something that's been abandoned, maybe some other culture picked up, or maybe the same thing in Asia. Like these, who knows if there's a little 3-piece band doing surf rock somewhere in one of those bars out there.
I think you're right, because I also found, as I was looking for like some modern crap, I found a lot of like Hispanic bands. They were like, here's a band from Peru or some shit like that. I'm like, it's kind of cool. Like,
but I want to say like Germany. There's these kids in Germany that are in close to the only thing they have in the beach is Normandy out there, or that's France. That's the only fucking thing they know, But there's like, because music is in the soul, it hits you no matter what it is or where you're from. You identify with a certain sound, and it doesn't matter what the sound is from or what culture you're from, and you just get you.
it's just your jam. Yeah, I get it. I think that's surf music, brother.
A lot of rock and rollers are surfers.
It's a very
All the guys
American
from
thing,
Pearl
man.
Jam, all the dudes from Pearl Jam talk about it. And I wish, see, like that's something you have to learn when you're a little kid, when it's okay for you to almost drown. Like
Yeah, it's not my bag, but I have some
Mhm.
friends that surf. Was never my thing.
we didn't even talk about Point Break, dude. Like Keanu, come on, Keanu.
Utah, give me 2.
Utah, give me two. That was a great surfer movie, man. Johnny Utah. Patrick
like-
Swayze's like the greatest big brother that you could ever have.
Well, like surfing shit, man. It was like you got a little bit of Baywatch, and you got some. We said,
Yeah, like in
Back
the
to the
80s
beach
and
and-
early 90s, there was a lot of surf shit going on, like
Yeah.
culture-wise. A lot of neon going on. A lot of surfs up, dude.
it's always counterculture, and it's like it's not as dangerous as punk. It's like like punk is maybe a little more synonymous with some violence, but
Locals rule, dude.
all right. Second thoughts, dude. We are still getting friggin' feedback on our Rock and Roll Hall of Fame episode on YouTube. So
All right.
amazing. Maddie Tally 2002 chimed in on Oasis. Does Oasis belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Asking if Oasis belongs in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is the dumbest fucking stupid question I've ever heard. They're the second best band to ever come out of the UK behind the Beatles. And I was like, okay.
I'm with you, dude. I'm with her.
I put the Stones ahead of the Oasis, but there's not a lot of casual Oasis fans, man. If you're into Oasis, people are really, really into Oasis.
Holy shit. All the kids from the bar went and fucking sold them at Giant Stadium, whatever to fucking call it now. What a shit show that fucking could have. What they say, that show they did in England at Wembley, they fucking sold more beer than any other thing you ever
Than in
did?
like any soccer match.
I fucking believe it.
Yeah. So I read the guy back and like, thanks, man. You like what you like, and thanks for saying we asked the stupidest fucking question in the history of music. But hey,
Because we want listeners like you to listen to us.
right? Please educate me.
We got you, didn't we?
Yeah, right. And then the Woo Wednesday show chimed in on our clip about, does the Wu-Tang Clan deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? They said they absolutely deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I would imagine if you're the Woo Wednesday show, you probably have an affinity for the Wu-Tang Clan. So I was like, yeah, man,
Who
I agree.
doesn't?
Right.
Who doesn't?
Shimmy, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yeah. Some other second thoughts. Dude, your bedroom set. We haven't talked about your fucking bedroom set.
Oh, well, it's happening, man. I'm going to have an adult bedroom, like a master bedroom. It's all being custom made, carpentry out of my friend's doing it. And wow, man, these old South Philly houses are beautiful, man. Wood floors. We pulled up rugs and the wood floor underneath it is banging. It's unbelievable. But I put it up on Facebook and I was like, oh, what can AI, what can you guys color these walls or whatever? And then Bruce came in and like totally threw a Prisoner of Rock and Roll hurricane in that picture.
It was like, yeah, your bed was like a podcast computer on it. And it was like,
because that's the only action that bed's going to get.
One of your buddies was like, I don't see how you're going to sleep on that. And I was like,
It's like, there you go. Yeah.
Rock and roll. Shut up, nerd. Let me enjoy let me enjoy the fantasy. But yeah, man, it had little like guitars and shit all over it, and
I wish I had
albums.
nice stuff like that.
Music news, man. Dude, I got a shit ton of music news. First of all, there's a new Anthrax song.
Yeah, it's great.
Anthrax announced they will release their 12th studio album, Cursum Perficio, on September 18th. It's their first new album in 10 years. They released a new single called It's for the Kids on May 15th. Man, I was out mowing my lawn the other day and I put this shit on my headphones and I was like, oh my God, last week I had new Social Distortion. This week I have new Anthrax. And I was like, dude, this is like, it kicks down your door and punches you in the face.
Yeah, I grew up with Anthrax, man. Totally. Yeah. I tell this story on the show, but they did the big tour with Metallica out at Yankee Stadium, and Anthrax was involved with that. And Anthrax from New York, so playing Yankee Stadium was a big thing to them. And they got like the key to Brooklyn that day and everything. That did the people involved, and they had special. I felt so proud of them to be like part of that. And they were. If I ever meet Scott Ian, I'd be like, dude, I was there, and I was so proud of you guys. Like, like you see this band, and they come back and. I don't know. It's just the little guy wins, dude.
I never really put them in the same sphere as Metallica and Megadeth and Slayer. Like they're little like the underdogs.
That's what I'm saying.
They're like my favorite out of the four of them, but yeah, they're not.
They always have been. Like they were the first band on that day. They were always the opening act for Metallica in the 80s. They were always the opening act for all. They're always just the opening act.
But I listened to this and I was like, oh fuck yes. Because I was like, they have not evolved their sound. I'm like, that is like, there's a ripping guitar solo in this song. I was like, dude, you don't hear guitar solos anymore in music, man.
Do we have a clip?
Yeah, dude. That kicks ass.
I got to keep my eye open for them. Hopefully they come to Philly or somewhere near it.
That album comes out in 115 days, 2 hours, 46 minutes, and 55 seconds from right now.
I don't want to see them in Philly because everybody sucks in Philly. I want to go to like New York and see them.
That song still has that big, chunky, deep Anthrax bass line, and the drums kicked in. It just sounded great, man. It was like, holy shit, that sounds great.
They are one of my favorite bands growing up. I liked them before I liked Metallica.
I did too.
Yeah.
Even the first, so it's like the Spotify's got that album, and it's all grayed out. You can't listen to it yet. But the first song is called like Persistence of Memory. And I was like, oh, it's going to be a throwback to Persistence of Time, which is like one of my favorite albums.
Yeah, sure.
So
do some like, I don't know, Easter egg shit in there, bro.
Yeah, dude. Hopefully
love that stuff.
Hopefully they throw back to that album. So, all right. You tagged me in this one. Keith Sutherland has canceled his tour. I know you're all upset. Keith Sutherland is one of a handful of celebrities who dabbles in music, and he was planning on going on tour this summer, but he canceled all of his shows because no one bought tickets. he released
Play McCuskers.
He released a statement. He said, "With great disappointment, I have to cancel the U.S. leg of my tour due to very low ticket sales."
You know where he went wrong, right? You know where he went wrong. As an opening act, you need to get that saxophone motherfucker to come in from the Lost Boys to open up for him.
He said, "I don't think it's fair to people who have the bought tickets or the venues to play to half-empty houses. So if you were excited to hear his music, I'm sorry." And
Make another Lost Boys movie, damn it.
And if you're sitting here wondering what the hell does Keith Sutherland's music sounds like, we did a whole show on called When Celebrities Put Out Albums, and he was on there.
He does like a country thing, doesn't he? Who would win in the fight, the Bacon Brothers or him?
Well, there's two Bacon Brothers, so.
Yeah, I hear you.
We did, here's a song called Not Enough Whiskey.
Pull the shades, lock the door, drag your feet across the floor. Memories hang in the hall, pull them down off the wall. Now it's done, she is gone.
I bet he was trying to play big places. He needs to go and play some kick shit. Sawdust on the floor, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
They fucking love him. Holy shit.
That might not be terrible if you're right, for the right audience.
But if he's trying to play like bigger halls and shit because he thinks he's somebody.
Yeah, he needs to be playing not even like Union Transfer in Philly. You gotta go smaller than that.
I saw that Keanu's band's coming back.
Yeah, well, he like Dog Star. Yeah, they were. Yeah,
they're coming back. They got a new album coming.
Well, we did a whole show on celebrities that did albums. That was one of my favorites because I was
they should do a super group with those guys, like all these actors that are like musicians. They think
that fucking dude, Michael Shannon, who played Zod in the one Superman movie. He was he was touring with the guys from REM or something. It was fucking awful. But there was some good stuff in that. Like, if I remember correctly,
I'm just saying he's probably looking at it the wrong way.
Yeah,
he's probably trying to play real places.
He was almost like, if I remember correctly, and it's been like a year since we put that album, we did that episode. He was like Mellencamp, like kind of in that vein of like Americana kind of stuff.
Don't tell John Mellencamp that.
Well,
he's gonna light a cigarette and punch you in the face.
Mellencamp is the Diet Coke Bruce Springsteen, and Sutherland is like the Diet Coke John Mellencamp. So.
It's like the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Like, right, if like you're dying of cancer, you want to make a wish, I want to meet John Mellencamp. They're like, sorry, this is all we can afford. Poor Mr. Sutherland, could you say you're John Mellencamp, please? Some poor kid with cancer. It's like, I want to meet John Mellencamp, and all I got is the guy from the Lost Boys. We're pausing for 5 seconds because Ryan just fucking threw his. Ah, shit.
Anyway.
So, all right, I got one more story.
Maybe we can save that for the fucking the electric chair.
We have a guest for the electric chair, so.
All right.
Another music news song, man. Did you see that Rob Bass died?
I did not, dude.
So, Rob Bass died May 22nd, 59 years old, after a private battle with cancer. I didn't even know he was ill.
God, it's awful. He was like part of my childhood, man. I mean, I got hyped every time MTV Raps came on.
Shit, man. You go to joy, pump it up, and pain. Keep it going. I don't know.
That's the shit too. That's the shit. But God, please play the beginning of that, man. Let's get some of them.
I wanna rock right now. I'm Rob Bass and I came to get down. I'm not internationally known, but I'm known to rock the microphone because I get stupid. I mean outrageous. Stay away from me if you're contagious, cause I'm the winner. No, not a loser.
Dude, that's up there with Juicy. Fucking Biggie Smalls, one of the greatest fucking hip hop songs ever, dude.
I saw him, man. He did there was a free show after like a Phillies game like 2 years ago, and it was like Rob Bass, like Tone Loc, and Vanilla Ice all together. And we're like, oh yeah, we're going
Jesus
to that.
Christ. God, man, that was such a big part of my childhood. I mean, here I was like this rocker dude, but that was fucking metal. That song was fucking hard. It was if I had a walk-in song for baseball, that would be the fucking
That'd be
song.
it.
Yeah,
man.
Come on. I don't care how old, what generation, whatever, man, you pump that on.
He's 59, man. He wasn't an old man.
Cancer's a bad thing, dude.
It really is, dude. It really is. No. AI Ozzy. So the Prince of Darkness may be gone, but an AI-powered hologram will keep Ozzy's distinct personality alive. Sharon Osbourne and Jack Osbourne said they're going to make a AI version of Ozzy. And Sharon said, you can ask Ozzy anything. He'll answer you in his own voice.
Fuck off.
And the answers will be whatever Ozzy would have said. We're going to take it all around the world. People can talk to him and he will talk back.
You know, I was just watching Tupac image thing they did at Coachella that year the other night. And I literally thought, when is Sharon going to do this with Ozzy? And here we are.
It's really sad.
Well, people don't want to let go, bro. People need Ozzy in their life to get through every day, bro.
Yeah, it's still it's exploitive and it's shitty, and we've talked about some AI
but it's something
stuff.
she
a
has
couple
never
times.
fucking done with him anyway.
Right.
I'm not going. I'm not gonna go.
Right. I don't even know what the fuck he's. Sorry, I don't even know what the fuck where he's gonna be. Like, can I download him on my phone? I don't know.
But they should like have him versus Tupac in a fight.
Well, if he's available on AI, you're gonna fire me from the show, and you're gonna have AI Ozzy doing this. Like,
Nothing
hi,
to
man.
beat
I'm
you,
gonna
dude. No.
welcome to the
no
Prisoners of
computer.
Rock and Roll, man.
No computer or anything could take your job, pal.
Ugh. Let me introduce you to the electric chair, man. Speaking of the electric chair, so a couple episodes ago, we read an email from Glenn from Australia, and we love hearing from listeners, especially from the other side of the world. So I emailed him the other day, and I was like, hey, man, like, first of all, like, your stickers are in the mail. It costs way less to mail stickers to Australia than I thought it was going to. And, but I would have gladly ate the cost, whatever it cost. But I said, hey, man, do you have a song for the electric chair? He was like, first of all, sorry for the delay. I'm on holiday in Bali. And he was and I was like, dude, first of all, if you're on holiday in Bali, please do not be emailing us. Like, yeah,
God,
I've heard.
I hear it's beautiful there. My good friend is from Indonesia. He's Indonesian. And I was like, I got to go there when I go to Australia. You know?
Yeah.
God.
But he said, I would like to see Sensi Electric Chair, and thanks to my daughter, is Katy Perry's Roar. I'm glad if I never have to hear that song again.
Oh, that song was made for like little kids.
And I was like, I think we killed a Katy Perry song when the Blue Meanie was on too. So I think whenever like we have celebrities on, between Glenn from Australia and the Blue Meanie, they pick Katy Perry songs.
She's not my favorite out of all that era.
She's
for little girls.
She's very nice to look at.
Yes, but it's like the Lady Gaga or her. And like the outsiders went to Lady Gaga and the little girls went to her.
Yeah, I like some of Katy Perry's music. Is like pop music. I think she can sing. I think she's
just hot.
She's very talented. She's
She
very
can kiss
attractive.
she can kiss a girl anytime she wants to.
She's got the body of a porn star. She's got like the machine behind her, like writing songs and stuff.
She's no Taylor Swift, dude. No fucking way is she.
No
way. I hate this song.
Do you? I'm kind of ambivalent towards it. I'm like, whatever.
I like positive shit. That's what it is. It does make you want to go out and achieve something. For little kids to go win the soccer game, that's the song you listen to.
She had the whole, like, where she was dating that. Who was that one dude she was married to?
Yeah, I just watched a movie with him, the English guy.
Yeah, Russell Brand.
He is funny, man.
Yeah.
Ugh. I just watched that, Get Him to the Greek.
Okay.
Puff Daddy's in that shit. And the way Puff Daddy talks in that, I'm like, there you go. There you go. He like sits there and says, hey, have sex with this man right now. And she goes, okay. And I'm like, see, this is not too far from his life.
Hang on. Let's kill this before we get sued by Katy Perry.
We sentence you to death.
All right, so I think that is a wrap on episode 120. If you want to hear more surf music, there is a link in the show notes to our episode playlist. It includes all the stuff we talked about, as well as a whole bunch of stuff we didn't get to. You can also find links in the show notes to our social media accounts, our website at prisonersofrockandroll.com, our email address is show@prisonersofrockandroll.com, and a link to McCusker's Tavern in Philadelphia. Drop us a line and let us know what you think about surf music. Did you like it? Don't you? What do you think of our electric chair? Do you have a song for the electric chair? We'd love to hear from people. If you drop us a line, man, we will mail you some stickers. No obligation, no purchase necessary. My brother, this was fun.
Yeah, man. Welcome summer.
It's a great start to the summer, and I learned a lot, and I hope everybody learned a lot listening to us. It was a lot of fun digging into this one.
Bruce, you may have had tickets for Kiefer Sutherland's concert and it got canceled, but you gotta keep on rocking.
I'm just a prisoner! Of rock and roll!
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.